2-month sub. Love you, Hassan.
What's going on, everybody? I hope everyone's having a fantastic evening, afternoon, pre-noon, no matter where you are in the world. I'm Hassan Piker, and this is the Hasanabi broadcast coming to you live from sunny California, Los Angeles. We are live once again, folks, girls, boys, girls, MBs. We are live once again. We're live and alive, and I'm doing this intro really quickly because Donald Trump is already live, and I totally missed most of his speech, and he's going crazy. No personal news. How the fuck would I have personal news in between literally the time I went to sleep and the time I woke up? I literally went to sleep and I literally woke up and I am now streaming. So no personal news, nothing happened in between. Okay. Last night was mad real. I'm coming up at 5 a.m. Wonder if we got cab still, you know, all that sort of stuff. Morning voice. Oh my God. La la la. We got all of it. Okay. Yes. Georgia. Radical liberal Raphael Warnock and not so radical journalism student John Ossoff have both functionally effectively won their Senate races. The minority leader will now be Mitch McConnell, but unfortunately the Senate majority for the Democrats is going to be a very slim one, and by that I mean literally as Kamala Harris is a tiebreaker, so not great.
Very cool.
So let's tune into the Nazi rally,
so
folks.
I hope Mike has the courage to do what he has to do, and I hope he doesn't listen to the rhinos and the stupid people that he's listening to. It is also widely understood that the voter rolls are crammed full of non-citizens, felons, and people who have moved out of state, and individuals who are otherwise ineligible to vote. Yet Democrats oppose every effort to clean up their voter rolls. They don't want to clean them up. They're loaded. And how many people here know other people that when the hundreds of thousands and then millions of ballots got sent out,
Hell yeah.
got 3,
We are
4,
watching
5,
Trump
6,
give the
and I heard
exact
one
same
who got
speech.
7 ballots. And
What
then
is
they
this?
say, "You didn't
What is
quite
this
make it,
thing?
sir."
Why is there
We
light
won
shining
in a
off the
landslide.
bulletproof
This was
glass?
a landslide.
He did a horrible job with the camera placing.
They said it's not American to challenge the election. This is the most corrupt election in the history, maybe of the world. You know, you could go third world countries, but I don't hundreds of thousands of votes, and they don't have voters for them. I mean, no matter where you go, nobody would think this. In fact, it's so egregious, it's so bad that a lot of people don't even believe it. It's so crazy that people don't even believe it. It can't be true. So they don't believe it. This is not just a matter of domestic politics. This is a matter of national security. So today, in addition to challenging the certification of the election, I'm calling on Congress and the state legislatures to quickly pass sweeping election reforms, and you better do it before we have no country left. Today is not the end, it's just the beginning. With your help over the last 4 years, we built the greatest political movement in the history of our country, and nobody even challenges that. I say that over and over, and I never get challenged by the fake news, and they challenge almost everything we say. But our fight against the big donors, big media, big tech, and others is just getting started. This is the greatest in history. There's never been a movement like that. You look back there all the way to the Washington Monument. It's hard to believe. We must stop the steal, and then we must ensure outrageous election fraud never happens again, can never be allowed to happen again. But we're going forward. We'll take care of going forward. We got to take care of going back. Don't let them talk. Okay, well, we promise. I've had a lot of people. Sir, you're at 96% for 4 years. I said, I'm not interested right now. I'm interested in right there. With your help, we will finally pass powerful requirements for voter ID. You need an ID to cash a check. You need an ID to go to a bank, to buy alcohol, to drive a car. Every person should need to show.
It's kind of sad that he's still throwing layups for the Republicans after he totally fucked them over in Georgia.
We will also
I told you guys
proof of
before,
American citizenship in
voter
order to
ID,
vote
in order to justify voter
American
suppression,
elections.
you have to lie and say election integrity is under attack, right?
We will ban ballot harvesting.
Oh, Pence is
and
speaking?
prohibit the use of unsecured.
All right, let's see what Mike Pence is going to do.
Clerk's desk. Without objection, the tellers will dispense with the reading of the formal portions of
Damn, Mike Pence is upstaging Donald Trump, boys.
portions of the certificates. After ascertaining that the certificates are regular in form and authentic,
Doing it.
tellers will announce the votes cast by the electors for each state, beginning with Alabama, which the parliamentarians advise me is the only certificate of vote from that state and purports to be a return from the state, and that has annexed to it a certificate from an authority of that state purporting to appoint or ascertain electors.
Let's all celebrate the demise of the elderly obstructionist lame turtle. Goodbye, Mitch.
For what purpose does the gentleman from Virginia rise?
Point of order, parliamentary inquiry, Mr. Vice President. In order to follow with the Speaker's instructions that only a limited number of people be on the floor, may I ask how one would make an objection or make a parliamentary inquiry in the future if you're not on the floor but in the gallery?
Pass boggies.
Look at these dipshits.
Under Section 18 of Title III of the United States Code, debate is not permitted in the joint session.
Hi, Hassan, how are you?
Oh,
Gentleman's recognized.
I'm not attempting to debate. I'm trying to find out how a parliamentary inquiry or a parliamentary point of order would be made.
He said no debate,
in following
Lording.
with the Speaker's request
not
that most of us not be on
democracy,
the floor. How do you make one of those points of order when you don't know what's going to happen later?
Respectfully, The gentleman's parliamentary inquiry constitutes debate, which is not permitted in the joint session under Section 18 of Title III United States Code. With that, Mr. Blunt.
Let's go.
I don't think it's on.
Okay, so all this stuff is just like procedural jerking. Like it's just basically a double dutching, double dicking a procedure. All that stuff is stupid. You know, Ted Cruz and them are gonna like symbolically stand in opposition and oppose, sir. And then, you know, they're gonna call for order, blah, blah, blah. None of it matters. It's a wrap. It's GG's. Let's go back to the fun stuff.
Country. And it's had a tremendous impact. And we got rid of catch and release. We got rid of all of the stuff that we had to live with. But now the caravans, they think Biden's getting in. The caravans are forming again. They want to come in again and rip off our
country. Oh, they're coming again.
Can't let it happen. As this enormous crowd shows, we have truth and justice on our side. We have a deep and enduring love for America in our hearts. We love our country. We have overwhelming pride in this great country, and we have it deep in our souls.
Lol.
Together, we are determined to defend and preserve government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Our brightest days are before us. Our greatest achievements still wait. I think one of our great achievements will be election security, because nobody until I came along had any idea how corrupt our elections were.
15 minutes.
And again, most people would stand there at 9 o'clock in the evening and say, I want to thank you very much. And they go off to some other life. But I said, something's wrong here. Something's really wrong. Can't have happened. And we fight. We fight like hell. And if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore. Our exciting adventures and boldest endeavors have not yet begun. My fellow Americans, for our movement, for our children, and for our beloved country, and I say this despite all that's happened, the best is yet to come. So we're going to walk down Pennsylvania Avenue. I love Pennsylvania Avenue. And we're going to the Capitol, and we're going to try and give, the Democrats are hopeless. They're never voting for anything. Not even one vote. But we're going to try and give our Republicans, the weak ones, because the strong ones don't need any of our help. We're going to try and give them the kind of pride, boldness that they need to take back our country. So let's walk down Pennsylvania Avenue. I want to thank you all. God bless you, and God bless America. Thank you all for being here. This is incredible. Thank you very much.
Damn, that was weak, dude. That was weak. Now, the irony here of a joint session of Congress for counting the Electoral College ballots happening simultaneously as Donald Trump is holding a rally basically arguing about how Mike Pence is going to steal it for him when that's definitely not going to happen is not lost on me. This is the new America. Maybe this was the old America, but this is the new America that we get to experience in real time. On the one hand, you have the charlatan, Donald Trump, literally lying to his audience, lying to his stands, like the Weasley little liar that he is. And also on the other side, you have decorum, and you have, the professionals doing what they would do as professionals do. And it's perfect. And this is the future of America. There are two Americas. One America that's planted within complacency, maybe incremental change from time to time, and still lies, hostility, but an America that wears a mask of decency. And also on the other side, you have an America that lives in the lie world, in the world in which lies are occurring And Ted Cruz is making a brave stance now. Hold on, sorry. We got to watch the rest of it. Oh, wait, they just muted everything. Why?
An objection presented in writing and signed by both a representative and a senator complies with the law, Chapter 1 of Title 3 of the United States Code. The clerk will report the objection.
Trump supporters be like, stop the count. 0-12, it's over. Trump is actually the president. Democracy was a lie all along. Turns out when Ted Cruz says no.
Objection to counting the electoral votes of the state of Arizona. We, a member of the House of Representatives and a United States Senator, object to the counting of the electoral votes of the state of Arizona on the grounds not under all of the known circumstances regularly given.
Are there further objections to the certificates from the state of Arizona? The chair hears none. The two houses will withdraw from joint session. Each house will deliberate separately on the pending objection and report its decision back to the joint session. The Senate will now retire to its chamber.
Please don't ask me what this means as a procedure. I don't want to lie to you. I do not know, okay? I don't know. This is not a thing that happens, okay? So I legitimately don't know. All I do know is it's all fucking bullshit, okay? It's all symbolic. It's all bullshit. It's all based around tradition regardless, and really stupid traditions. And I'm not a big enough nerd to actually know what the fuck, like, Ted Cruz's symbolic stance, or like an Arizona senator and an Arizona House of Representatives member saying that they're gonna fucking, object to the reading. Like, all I know is this, okay? We're adults. We are adults living in the adult world. New York Times explained their procedure in the live chat. Sure, I'll look at it if you want. It's fucking nerds, okay? They're nerds. If you know what's happening here, they debate for 2 hours and then both chambers vote on whether to sustain the objection or not. Okay. Great. You're a nerd. It's ridiculous.
Senators are making their way across the Capitol into the upper chamber as the joint session of Congress to certify the 2020 Electoral College votes has been dissipated. They will now go and debate in their respective chambers the objection heard right there to Arizona's Electoral College votes. Catherine Tully McManus is a reporter, congressional reporter for CQ Roll Call. What just happened?
So what happened right there in the joint session is that when the Arizona electoral votes,
bro, is she logging in from the bathroom? What the fuck?
To be counted and recognized by Congress, Paul Gosar of Arizona, a Republican, along with 60 of his colleagues in the House, registered an objection to those electoral votes.
Yo, C-SPAN is leftist, boys.
And as required, a senator joined in that objection, which made it valid to be debated in each chamber. And so what Mike Pence, the vice president, who's presiding over this session, just said is he sent the House to remain in the House chamber and sent the Senate to retreat to their own chamber. And they will now begin debate on this objection of the electoral votes cast for Joe Biden in Arizona. The description was really technical, that under all known circumstances, the votes were not, quote, regularly given. The objectors will be elaborating and getting more into the details of the issue that they see, and Democrats who are in support of recognizing these votes will be defending their position that Joe Biden's electoral votes are rightfully his.
How quickly do you suspect the House will gavel
C-SPAN
into
is so funny.
its session to debate?
This lady's hair is in 1935.
It could be relatively quickly. I think that We will see each chamber will have to, go through some basic procedural rigmarole to get the debate started. But they know.
Yo, serious question, jokes aside, can congressional GOPs overturn Biden's victory? No.
Objections, which each have this long debate time, which will be extended.
No.
There needs to be a vote at the end of these debates.
No, what are you thinking?
Which are extended due to COVID restrictions.
Are you insane, dude?
Chamber.
No,
so
they can't do
a
that.
Very long day and night ahead of them.
Guys, you have to remember something, okay? Okay. Capitalism bad. But also, capitalism needs stability. Or even if there is volatility, that volatility has to be manufactured and beneficial to those who are in positions of power. Complete eradication of institutional legitimacy is not the kind of volatility that helps Pfizer or Merck or, I don't know, Raytheon. Maybe they might be a little bit, actually not even fucking Raytheon would benefit from that, okay? It doesn't work that way.
Wow,
America's institutions must at least remain or look like they are strong and legitimate. Do you understand? Because any sort of volatility that goes beyond that, is a danger. Like if you could turn around and watch America wither away, it's like it's symbolic or it's aesthetic democracy. As you watch like Ted Cruz in his snakeskin boots, watch a little Porter Rooney before going up on stage on Congress and saying, "Hey, all of a sudden we're overturning the votes of 80 million people." Like, no, that's not happening. Okay, that's fucking psychotic.
Good morning, King. Hope you
like,
have a good day and stream.
Our democratic protocols are aesthetic for the most part. We have a duopoly. It's unjust. It's deeply unjust. Things that would help the American workers never end up passing. But ultimately, yeah, I know they're storming the Capitol. We're going to go there in a second. Let me just finish my thoughts on this, though. But ultimately, these institutions must at least look like they are legitimate and look like they are strong. That's why everyone always says, we're not a tin pot dictatorship. That shit's not happening. Like, Ted Cruz is not going to be able to overturn the democratic results of an election because Donald Trump asked for it in not so gentle ways. No, they're all playing a role. Ted Cruz is doing that because he wants to run for president. Okay, he wants to run for president. That's why he's doing it. And he needs Donald Trump's fans to be his fans if he wants to win. Let them fucking eat one another. It doesn't really mean anything serious. I hear that the hundreds of Trump supporters have now stormed the barricades at the back of the Capitol and are marching towards the building, which is pretty funny. Like, again, I laugh when lefties on the internet say stuff like a revolution is going to happen, a specter of communism is haunting the United States. It's like, dude, if there is ever a takeover in this country, it's not going to be a leftist one. It's going to be on the dumbest reasons, okay? Just like when the workers arm themselves, they arm themselves to defend fucking Applebee's. When the workers rise up, they're rising up because their billionaire, New York, elitist, narcissistic president who manifests all of their personal frustrations and grievances with the elites or whatever they consider to be the bicoastal elites is upset with the outcome of a democracy, of a democratic election. It's not going to happen because workers all of a sudden read copies of Das Kapital and are now, like, you know, unionizing and effectively taking over the country. No, it's a hog revolution. Okay? And it's not even a revolution regardless. Like, this is the vanguard, boys. Here you go. And it's the funniest thing because they're like engaging in, I guess, revolutionary action, even though they are counter-revolutionaries. I mean, they are literally the definition of reactionary. And they're engaging in this action Not because they're upset that, you know, the government is not giving them more, not because they're upset about their position, not because they're upset about, you know, the labor conditions that they're subjected to. They're doing this because Donald Trump is upset. So let me rip that Band-Aid off for you, okay? They're doing this because Donald Trump is upset, and that makes them upset because Donald Trump and his fifis are the only reason why these people will fucking activate. You understand? That's the reality. They're mad because they lost and because Donald Trump lost. And guess what? They're not black, so of course cops are not going to fucking gun them down on the streets.
A court that ability, it exclusively gives that ability to the legislatures. And in fact, in most states, that's the process that was followed. But for those states that this wasn't followed, unfortunately, this is not new. We've seen over and over again more states where the Democrat Party has gone in and selectively gone around this process. That has to end, Madam Speaker. We have to follow the constitutional process.
Okay, shut the fuck up. This is insane.
How you doing, pepper spray, fucking pepper, pussy?
3 months not scope. Thanks for everything.
Fucking pussy! How you doing, pepper spray, fucking pepper, pussy?
For the people who are saying like, or for the people who LARP as revolutionaries and whatnot, watch. Okay? These people, again, are not storming the Capitol building because they're upset about any legitimate grievance when they should have legitimate grievances. They're upset because Donald Trump lost. A billionaire who will go down in history for Ronald Reagan-style tax cuts for the wealthy and a complete destruction of federal agencies from within, okay? A person who completely unshackled any semblance of EPA regulation so that he could further eradicate or further destroy this planet. A person who very clearly, unapologetically was always on the side of corporations, but said a bunch of right racist things so that he could, you know, build public support and LARP as though he was a common man. That's who they're fucking upset about, not winning the election. That's why they're storming the Capitol building, okay? Not because they're upset about a lack of worker safety during COVID, not because of the government's horrific response to coronavirus, none of that. Because they're fucking mad because they're bad, okay? They're mad because they can't hold the fucking L. Just saying. Fake populism. Fake aesthetic left-wing economic populism with a fuckload of nationalism built into it as a vehicle to deliver a much more nefarious nationalistic agenda. Watch. Pepper spray fired from both cops and pro-Trump protesters. Status coup? Isn't that Jordan? I think this is Jordan Sheridan. Absolutely. Hitler would be proud. True. Anyway. The fucking reason why they're mad does not fucking matter. They're still doing this shit anyways.
Love you, Hassel.
What? What do you mean the reason why they're mad does not matter? Okay. So Chud's storming the fucking bird sanctuary for grazing rights because their farms can't take advantage of like I don't know, public land more, or Chud's fucking storming Capitol buildings because they want to get haircuts is the same as like black people protesting police brutality. No, of course the fucking reason why people are protesting matters, dude. As a matter of fact, it's the only thing that matters. What do you mean?
Drift and Dream at driftandream.me.twitch.tv privms hashtag Hasanabi.
You can say, like, I don't think these people should get tased. I don't think these people should get maced. I think that's my position overall. I don't care how hog-like they are. I don't like watching a violent police state violently squash these sorts of protests. I don't think that's right. I know that they wouldn't fucking feel the same about me if I was out there getting my ass beat, but it doesn't matter. I still don't think that it's right that the cops are doing this.
Love you, Boss 20.
I don't. Wonder where all the tear gas and less than lethal responses went when someone is actually storming a government building. Agree shouldn't happen to anyone, but the difference in response is appalling. Of course they're not going to do it. Do you think we can ally with the hogs against the police? No. No. I'm not going to watch Jordan's broadcast. No. Because we used to work together. I don't think he's too fond of me. And I don't want him, like, fucking hitting me with, like, a DMCA or some shit. Anyway. Same dudes to complain about BLM. Yeah.
Hassan. I am a big ol' political Andy, and this stream has been my highlight of quarantine. I cut my racist relatives in half verbally every holiday because of your love, you chat, you rabid mountain, you chugging cucks.
Thanks, man.
Let's go. Hey, let's go.
The real issue isn't this. The real issue isn't like them fucking, I don't know, symbolically standing angry next to cops or like attacking like the Washington Monument or some shit. The real issue is when this turns into nighttime and when they redirect their anger back to their fellow citizens, specifically black and brown citizens, specifically black churches, specifically Antifa or whatever they'd have declared to be Antifa. That's when it becomes a real issue because they're never going to be able to express their full anger at the police state. They ultimately know that the police state is supposed to be on their side. Okay? And that's why they're not getting their shit pushed in currently. At this level, any Black Lives Matter protest would be gunpoint. Okay? You would watch at this stage, regular Black Lives Matter protests would be absolutely, without a fucking doubt, you would be getting clapped up. You would be getting, you would watch people get. Mitch McConnell is speaking. No, he's not.
Hassle.
Is here? Let's go
President
back to
Biden
that.
won the 2020 election. More than
Where is
60
he?
lawsuits were filed contesting elements of the election process. None of these lawsuits prevailed. Why? As even President Trump's own judicial appointees ruled, there was no evidence of any wrongdoing that would change the outcome.
Where is the? I don't know where the.
Yeah, Presib.
C-SPAN 2 for the Senate here.
This will be the most important vote I've ever cast. President Trump claims the election was stolen. The assertions range from specific local allegations to constitutional arguments to sweeping conspiracy theories.
Mitch McDonald is gone. Let's go.
I supported the president's right to use the legal system. Dozens of lawsuits received hearings in courtrooms all across our country. But over and over, the courts rejected these claims, including all-star judges whom the president himself has nominated.
Why does he sound like he's crying?
Every election, we know, features some illegality and irregularity, and of course, that's unacceptable. I support strong state-led voting reforms. Last year's bizarre pandemic procedures must not become the new norm. But my colleagues, nothing before us proves illegality anywhere near the massive scale that would have tipped the entire election. Nor can public doubt alone justify a radical break when the doubt itself was incited without any evidence. The Constitution gives us here in Congress a limited role. We cannot simply declare ourselves a national board of elections on steroids. The voters, the courts, and the states have all spoken. They've all spoken. If we overrule them, it would damage our republic forever.
No.
This election actually was not unusually
close. This is all Mitch McConnell does. He means if we overruled them in favor of Donald Trump, it would damage our republic forever. If it was a Republican that he liked, if he was a Republican who Mitch believed genuinely cared about the long-standing Republican ideological project, he would be the person championing the cause of stealing this election. Just remember that. Don't stay fucking based. Don't think that Mitch McConnell is doing this because it's for any reason other than the fact that he already used and abused Donald Trump. That's it. He got everything out of Donald Trump.
Our democracy would enter a death spiral. We'd never see the whole nation accept an election again. Every 4 years would be a scramble for power at any cost. The Electoral College, which most of us on this side have been defending for years, would cease to exist, leaving many of our states with no real say at all in choosing a president. The effects would go even beyond the elections themselves. Self-government, my colleagues, requires a shared commitment to the truth and a shared respect for the ground rules of our system. We cannot keep drifting apart into two separate tribes with a separate set of facts and separate realities, with nothing in common except our hostility towards each other and mistrust for the few national institutions that we all still share. Every time in the last 30 years that Democrats have lost a presidential race, they've tried a challenge just like this. After 2000, after 2004, after 2016. After 2004, a senator joined and forced the same debate. And believe it or not, Democrats like Harry Reid, Dick Durbin, and Hillary Clinton praised them and applauded the stunt. Republicans condemned those baseless efforts back then. And we just spent 4 years condemning Democrats' shameful attacks on the validity of President Trump's own election. So look, there can be no double standard. The media that is outraged today spent 4 years aiding and abetting Democrats' attacks on our institutions after they lost. But we must not imitate and escalate what we repudiate. Our duty is to govern for the public good. The United States Senate has a higher calling than an endless spiral of partisan vengeance. Congress will either override the voters, overrule them, the voters, the states, and the courts.
An evacuation order has been given.
Or honor the people's decision.
In the House Cannon building.
Will either guarantee Democrats' delegitimizing efforts after 2016 become a permanent new routine for both sides, or declare that our nation deserves a lot better than this. We'll either hasten down a poisonous path where only the winners of election actually accept the results, or show we can still muster the patriotic courage that our forebears showed not only in victory but in defeat. The framers built the Senate to stop short-term passions from boiling over and melting the foundations of our republic. So I believe protecting our constitutional order requires respecting the limits of our own power. It would be unfair and wrong to disenfranchise American voters and overrule the courts and the states on this extraordinarily thin basis. And I will not pretend such a vote would be a harmless protest gesture while relying on others to do the right thing. I will vote to respect the people's decision and defend our system of government as we know it.
Leader.
Mr. President.
What is she doing?
Vice President. As prescribed by the Constitution and the laws of the nation, the purpose of this joint session is for tellers.
Look at how happy
appointed
he is.
on a bipartisan basis by the two houses to read to the Congress the results of an election that has already happened. We are here to receive an announcement of a vote that has already been certified by every state in the union.
Is this real?
And confirmed
Is
by
this
the
from
courts
today?
many times over.
Are they going to burn it?
The current vice president open envelopes and receive the news of a verdict that is already.
Are they going to burn it, you think?
It is a solemn and august occasion, no doubt, but it is a formality. The Congress does not
actually the Capitol building? Sometimes there's like people who are liars, like.
The Congress is not
Listen, I gotta pause for a second. Listen, when commotion like this occurs, there's a lot of people who are literally not on the ground, who are just aggregators of misinformation, okay? They will just do it for retweets. Ian Miles Wrong is a great example of this. And every now and then there's another person that props up. I don't think that that's like from today, and I don't know if that's actually happening right now. So sometimes you will get a video sent, and it's not from today, and it's just an aggregator Andy trying to make trying to get like retweets and shit. So don't get bamboozled, okay? Double check, triple check before sending stuff like that. I don't think that that's real. Dude, we know how the internet works. Man, there's 52,000 people in here. Not all of them are aware. This is important for like media literacy purposes too. The reasoning for the evacuation. Oh yeah, I saw this already. Yeah, we know. Yeah, we watched this already. Guys, they're getting their asses beat for Donald Trump. Like, I'm sorry, but that's never not gonna be funny, dude. That is never not gonna be funny. Like, there is not a better person. There is not a better representation of a politician that does not give a fuck about you than Donald Trump. And these motherfuckers are getting their asses beat for Donald Trump, dude. They're getting their ass beat for Donald Trump because Donald Trump, while he's a regular Republican politician, at least went mask off with the racism. So these people were like, oh my God, he must really love us and he must really fucking care about our values and our interests. Like, remarkable. Thank you, Cash App, for the, I don't know how many subs you gave me, but yeah, 51 subs. Thanks. Look how gentle the police are with them, though. I mean, they're not exactly gentle. They're still like, I mean, this would never get to this point if this was a black crowd or protesting black grievances like police brutality. This would not happen. They would have kettled and corralled. They would have tear gassed. They would have shot projectiles directly at people rather than on the ground as you're supposed to. And it would have never gotten to this point. That's for sure. That is for sure. Okay? Isn't status quo Jordan Sheridan? I think that, oh no, he's not. They're not Jordan Sheridan. Status quo is literally, maybe it's not Jordan Sheridan's operation. Am I crazy? Sam Harris responded to you? What? On what? Yeah, the cross was going up in front of the Capitol building in Lansing, Michigan. It is Jordan, right? What? This is like hashtag MAGA. Shit like that. Cops are swinging at protesters and they're pepper spraying the cops back. Of course they are. Dude, there is no better representation than like how American politics is viewed in the eyes of, or like how look, where is it? I fucking missed it. I missed it. I sniped it earlier, but it flew by because the chat's too fucking fast. While this is happening in front of our eyes, some motherfucker in my chat's like, what are your thoughts on neopronouns? Hassan, what are your thoughts? Hassan? If you think there's a chance that Sam and he will try DMC after the fact, just don't watch it. Not worth the risk at all, in my opinion. I don't think he will, but I don't know. Facebook has live feeds from the Capitol. We can look at clips. There's enough clips going around, but like, I think they literally thought that like Republicans would not break into federal buildings or something. I don't know why. Like why did they think that? Like, they're entitled as fuck. They're straight up the most entitled motherfuckers out there, and they think that like cops are literally on their side so they can do whatever the fuck they want and get away with it. Why do you think Proud Boys founder Enrique Tarrio literally came back to DC after openly admitting that he was the one who vandalized the black church and like brought fucking high capacity magazines with him, which are not even legal to have in DC? That's entitlement, brother, because Donald Trump is saying, stand back, stand by. So they think that they can get away with it, and they kind of can get away with it. And that's precisely why they're going to do all the things that they want to do. Capitol Police is evacuating all House office buildings. They're evacuating Madison and Cannon buildings as crowd of Trump supporters are attempting to enter. Oh, Jesus Christ. Their tweet saying police can't contain this much longer is bullshit, lol. No, of course they can fucking contain it. They're just not containing it. And the reason why they're not containing it is because it's pig on pig violence. Why the fuck would they do that? Like, if you push a hog far enough, maybe, yeah, they'll fucking clap back, but ultimately they're not going to. Isn't it sad that Chuds have more balls than revolutionary leftists? First of all, the Chuds have organizations. The Chuds have astroturfed organizations. The Chuds have the backings of billionaires, and their fucking literal president became the president. So it's a little different than making a comparison between that and a bunch of fucking lefties on the internet with zero organizational power, with virtually no organizational power, and the only ability to organize around grassroots mobilization and not like billionaires backing them with astroturf campaigns. The establishment is Chud adjacent. So why the fuck wouldn't they be galvanized? Why wouldn't they feel emboldened? Why wouldn't they be able to fucking storm the Capitol building? You have to remember the dynamic, the material realities that we exist under, and who gets the funding and to do what. Don't be crazy. The funniest part is these people think that, like, you know, like Ted Cruz, for example, thinks that he's going to be able to win the favor of these hogs when they don't care. Like, they think Ted Cruz is fake. They already started off hating Ted Cruz because Donald Trump said, I fucked your wife, or whatever. Not that he fucked his wife, but he said his wife was ugly. Can you explain what their end goal is? Their end goal is nothing. They're just angry, dude. They're just not a great look for freshman congresswoman to be caught on tape at a rally in the nation's capital saying Hitler was right. What?
Started, obviously, Mary, you know, global pandemic. You represent the family. Hundreds of thousands have died in the U.S. DC hospitals, Virginia, Maryland are all at almost capacity. I wear a mask, right? I wear a mask.
What?
But Bill Montgomery, who was instrumental in getting Turning Point USA started, obviously, said, Mary, we need you know, global pandemic. You represent the family. Hundreds of thousands have died in the U.S. DC hospitals, Virginia, Maryland are all at almost capacity. I wear a mask, right? I wear a mask.
If we win a few elections, we're still going to be losing unless we win the hearts and minds of our children. This is the battle. Hitler was right on one thing. He said, whoever has a youth has the future. Our children.
This woman just said Hitler was right on one thing. They're saying the quiet part out loud.
What? What? Bro, what is happening in Illinois, man? Yo, society has progressed beyond the need for Illinois, dude. It's done. Why are there so many Nazis in Illinois? What the fuck? We're done. Nah, dude. Just carve out Chicago. The rest of it is trash. Move Illinois to Florida, dude. What is happening? Even the Democrats are psychopaths from Illinois too. Like, just everyone is fucking psychotic in Illinois. It feels like all the politicians are garbage. Bro, she literally said Hitler was right. What the fuck?
Hitler was right on one thing. He said, whoever has a youth has the future.
Yo, what? Bro, why? What is it? What? This is absolutely insane, dude. Hold on. Okay, where's Ted Cruz? Context Andes? Bro, the reason they're so psycho is in Illinois because Republicans have been sort of disenfranchised for a long time due to the skewed influence of Chicago in elections. The rest of the state is red. We can't split up Illinois into Chicago and the rest of the state because that's what the Nazis want. Go back to the stream, dude. Oh.
The senator who signed on to that objection being raised by the Arizona House Republican who lodged it. You have to look ahead to what happens after January 20th, Lester, and what this means for actual governing. What happens, right? If, in fact, the Georgia race holds, because that's the other huge story we're covering today, what happens in that Georgia race between Jon Ossoff and Republican Senator David Perdue? Can Jon Ossoff hold that lead and deliver the Senate to Democrats now? Can Democrats work across the aisle with the Republicans if they need to? And they might not, because a 50-50 tie, of course, would be broken by Vice President-elect Kamala Harris. But can Democrats potentially work across the aisle if there are Democratic defectors, given what they're seeing? I spoke with one Democratic senator this morning, Lester, who said, I'm going to find that very difficult to do, given the thing that is going down now on Capitol Hill, especially over the next 12 to 18 hours here, what we're going to see before tomorrow, depending how long this thing lasts. You also have to look at Republicans, and there are some Republicans like Senator McConnell. Listen, he seemed deeply emotional there. We don't often see that level of sort of visible.
This is not something I can watch. Where is the actual Just Ted Cruz? Can someone link me Just Ted Cruz? No, I can't do that. I can't do the fucking mainstream media take on like, oh, they're actually emotional. Like, shut the fuck up, dude. Why are you rushing to fucking hand it to him? Oh, that's Boebert. Oh,
it is law.
It's
unless
Glock.
Amended by the state legislature. This is the way it needs to be carried out. In Arizona, the deadline for voter registration for the 2020 presidential election was October 5, 2020. Using COVID as a reasoning, Democrats filed a lawsuit to extend this deadline by 18 days. And an injunction was made by an Obama-appointed judge preventing the Arizona Secretary of State from enforcing the constitutional deadline set by the state legislature. As a result of this frivolous partisan lawsuit, 10 extra days were added via judicial fiat to allow voter registration. These 10 days were added after voting had already begun. This is completely indefensible. You cannot change the rules of an election while it is underway and expect the American people to trust it. Now, in this 10-day period, at least 30,000 new voters registered